see. So make sure you have a pencil before we get started. Hopefully all the worksheets are passed out already. If not, hopefully that's getting done. Make sure your name and your class period's on it. If there's somebody else with your name on your team, make sure you put your last initial so that you can get credit for your paper. If Had to move my cookies out of the way. If you haven't already turned in your progress reports, please turn those in, put them in the tray. Also, if you have any, which I hope you do not, late work that's out, make sure you turn that in. If you have not taken the force test or your vocab test, please let me know so we can get that squared away. If you haven't taken your writing prompt about how you eat a cheeseburger and how supposed to write how does it go through the digestive system, where does it end up at? You're currently supposed to be doing it in your sixth period. If you have not done it in your sixth period, let me or Mr. Ward know, because it will be a grade. So, last time we met, um, McKenna's just going through it. There's something wrong with her. We don't know what yet. Um, right now, we are looking at the digestive system to see if we could find the red flags or the problems that she is going through. Um, so right now, with your partner at your table, what ideas do we have for ways to investigate and what was going on with McKenna's digestive system? Um, Also, how would we or the doctors be able to see if anything is different in McKenna's digestive system? So you got 5 minutes to talk to your partner about this. I will start the timer. Whoops, that didn't work. And you can start now. All right, settle down. So, looking at these structures of the digestive system, um, you see the esophagus, and if you see because remember we talked about cells, and in sixth grade you were supposed to talk about atoms. Well, when the atoms come together and make molecules, so on and so on, and then the cells are produced from that. When cells clump together, they create tissue, and tissue creates cells. So, as you see, there are millions upon millions of cells that clump together to make tissue for these different organs. So, the main four we're going to talk about today is the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine, and the large intestine. And you see how different the inside of different parts of these organs are. Um, so we are going to look at in this part today, we're going to look at the inside of a normal person versus McKenna. And we're going to see what we can see and notice the things that look abnormal and what are normal. Um, so what do you notice about the structure of these organs? What are some of the things that you are wondering about them? Um, so we're not going to record these in our notebook because y'all don't have notebooks. So we're going to skip that part. So this is this is the endoscope report. If you don't know what an endoscope is, it has a camera on the end with the light on it. It's a long tube, and most of the time, depending on your comfort level, a lot of times you can be put to sleep. Some people choose not to, or they can't because of medical reasons. And they take the scope and they put it down your throat through your esophagus, and they can look inside of you. Um, so, so on this report, you see that the patient is McKenna. The age of the patient is always on there. The sex is on there. She is a female. Her birthday is 10/26/15. Attending physician, so this is the doctor who's in charge of her, is Dr. M. Campbell. I'm about to say that totally wrong. Um, so these are the notes that the doctor or sometimes the nurses will scribble down. So the patient complains of abnormal pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and being tired and weak and losing weight a lot. So the procedure is an upper GI endoscope, and it takes the photographs or pictures at the locations of the diagram, and the images referred, you're going to see the images um, of these different organs. So, with your partner at your table, you have 3 minutes to go over this report and talk about the different complaints and see how it has to deal with the digestive system. So, looking at the abnormal pain, the nausea, the vomiting, the diarrhea, the tired, the weak, the losing weight, which organs or which part or parts could be the factors in her being sick. So you have 3 minutes and time starts now. So your time is up. So can we see anything inside of McKenna's digestive system that looks different compared to a healthy digestive system? Engage with the interactive version of McKenna's endoscope report. This is where you will examine images and make observations. In your science notebook, you will keep a record of your observations. So you will have a blue piece of paper if you don't have one now. Hopefully, it is being passed out. You will write your observations on this blue piece of paper, and you'll put your name on it, and you'll put your last period on it. And after, you will turn it in. Also, at this time, hopefully, lesson 2 has already been passed back. The the questions where you did lesson 1 at the top and then lesson 2 at the bottom, hopefully that's being passed back now, or if it's already been passed back, good. If you do not have it, then that means that you need to ask for it so you can complete and turn it. In the show. So, this is a picture of an esophagus. On your left, this is the healthy side. As you see, it is just blood vessels. It's red. Um, there's no holes. Because usually if you have acid reflux, sometimes it'll start burning holes through your esophagus. If you eat wrong food at a certain time of night or even day, um, it could affect it. On your right hand side, here is McKenna's. So on your piece of paper, what is, and if you need to know how to spell esophagus, it's right there. ESOPHAGUS. You will write down what do you see different between the healthy one on the left and what do you see what's wrong with McKenna's on the right? What is the difference of them? That's all we need to know is what is different from each of these. And you got about 3 minutes to write it down. Something short, brief. It doesn't have to be a paragraph. It don't have to be a page. Some couple sentences. What do you see that is different about McKenna's versus the healthy? That's all you gotta write. And your time is starting now. All right, time is up. So this is the stomach. On your right side, this is a healthy stomach. And on the right side is McKenna's stomach. So you will have 3 minutes to write down the difference you see in McKenna's stomach versus the healthy stomach. And your 3 minutes starts now. All right. So this is the beginning of the small intestines. So this is from leaving the stomach, now we're in the small intestines. On the right, on the left again, I should go left or right. On the left, it is the healthy small intestines, and on the right is McKenna's. Write down the differences of the two And you got 3 minutes. All right, your 3 minutes is up. So we are off to the next part. So this is the middle part of your small intestines. Uh, on your left is the healthy one. On your right is McKenna's. Make sure you are writing down the differences. Where do you see that is different? Because this is what's going to help you determine what's wrong with her from what you are seeing. So make sure you got to write it down. You got 3 minutes and your time is started. So go ahead and get started on it. All right, time's up. One more stop. This is the last one. And the little ball symbolizes food, or also the scope. This is how it goes through your body. Ooh, that yellow stuff don't want to. This is your large intestines. Um, so write down what you see different, if there is any difference. This picture is very interesting. Um, you got 3 minutes, and your time has started now. Your time is up. So making sense of the endoscope images, what did you, what inside of McKenna's digestive system looks the most different from the healthy patient? What questions are you wondering about it? So you have, so on that current piece of paper you have, write down what three questions that you have, or if you don't even have, about what you've seen in general. So we don't have the lab kits, which I'm gonna ask where they're at, because there's different little labs that go with this unit. So GH slide IJ we cannot do. So okay. So on that one piece of paper, the progress tracker, how is McKenna's digestive system different from a healthy person's? Write that down. So you will need to finish that piece of paper, turn your blue paper in, and also turn this paper in into the tray. Um, so the next steps. What ideas do we have about what is happening to the molecules that are disappearing from the small intestines? And what questions are you wondering? So I will have to look into this because I think in the lab it shows that there is something wrong with the small intestines and how the food is disappearing. So I will look into that because this will go into lesson 3. Um, but yes, please make sure you turn your stuff in. Make sure you push your chairs in when it's time for dismissal, and make sure any pencils that you borrow you turn back in. Because not only did Mr. Ward buy pencils, but I also did too, and they need to be returned back.